Hit recruit followers, -10 loyalty, 1 turn away. Right, hit the button. Recruit followers. 1 turn rebellion, we've done it. All of your cities belong to me, my friend. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Spiffing Brit, and today we're playing Sid Meier's Civilization 6 Gathering Storm. You see, a DLC was recently released for the game which added in a whole bunch of secret societies and a new civilization, basically an entirely new game mode. And this new game mode, as you can guess, is completely and utterly broken, and it has so many exploits in that I'm going to be able to do a very strange challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try and win a game of Civilization 6 doing a conquest victory without actually going to war. That's right, I'm doing a pacifist conquest victory game of Civ 6. This is the strangest game mode I'll ever be doing. It's right up there with my Civilization 6 No City challenge, which was absolutely hilarious. But yes, this is also going to be a very strange challenge. How are we going to do it? Well, we're going to be using the most powerful nation ever created, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be creating a brand new game and playing as England. But not just anyone in England, Eleanor of Aquitaine, because she is absolutely broken. And here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most middle tier civs to actually play in a multiplayer game, but thanks to the brand new Secret Societies game mode, Eleanor of Aquitaine has technically risen up the ranks to become what is probably an S tier civilization. I would say at the moment the only civilizations which actually stand much of a chance against her are Korea in a science game, good old Simon Bolivar in a military game, and the brand new Ethiopia civilization Menelik II in literally any game mode, because Ethiopia is completely and utterly broken. Trust me, this civ makes no sense, and it's just not fair to play. So yes, we're going to be playing as England though, because we have a very unique strategy. We need to be able to take cities without actually going to war, and Eleanor is absolutely perfect for the job. For each great work she has in a city, she produces -1 loyalty per turn in all foreign cities within 9 tiles. That's actually quite a large radius, and any city that leaves another civilization due to loss of loyalty and is currently receiving loyalty per turn from Eleanor's civilization immediately skips the free city step and joins Eleanor's civilization. This makes Eleanor very powerful, because the Secret Society game mode has effectively added a way to cheese the loyalty mechanics in a way which is perfectly balanced. So we'll be playing with almost all of the default settings, excluding having secret societies enabled. So effectively using the power of England and Yorkshire Tea, we're going to be trying to play the loyalty mechanic system in Civ 6 to convince enemy cities to join our side and effectively revolt away from their original owners. Now this is a very complicated snowball effect, and once you get it off correctly, it is absolutely broken, but it can just be a challenge to get it up and running. So hopefully with enough memes and exploits, we'll be able to take Eleanor of Aquitaine and make her the authoritarian tea-based dictator of the fantastical world we'll end up in. Right, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's throw ourselves into this game. Make sure you're sat back, relaxed, you have a nice warm cup of tea in front of you, and hey, if you're feeling especially fantastic, you might even leave a like on this video. Thank you very much. Are you tired of losing wars in Civilization 6? Are you frustrated by having to actually micromanage all of your armies? Do you hate that some of your friends are way better at combat than you are, but you still want to get a domination victory? Well, have I got the solution for you. What about a good old pacifist domination victory? What? It makes no sense? Well, guess what? It actually does. Grab yourself a cup of Yorkshire tea and douse yourself in it, because we're about to go on a wild ride. So yes, as I mentioned, Civ 6 has had a brand new DLC, the Secret Societies game mode, which has added a whole bunch of secret societies. It has added 4 in total, 2 of which are completely and utterly broken, and the other 2 I guess are okay. There's one which is all about sciencey nerd stuff, and one which is all about money, and the money one's good fun because you can accumulate interest and gain about 1,000 gold per turn, but actually that's not particularly too useful in comparison to some of the other bonuses the other secret societies get. Oh, now we've got quite a fun little start. Whereabouts are we? Just along a river next to a whole bunch of wheat and stuff. Yep, this will be fine. Right, so we'll slap down our city right here in a rainforest, and that's fine. Welcome to London, famously built next to a rainforest. Now, a lot of our early game isn't actually going to have anything too complex going on. We're just going to play a standard game of Civ 6 with not too many exploits at all. The most important thing we need to make sure we get, however, is astrology, because we need to get a holy site up and running. And of course, the first thing you always want to build, a lovely scout. Oh, and we found our first tribal goodie hut. Lovely. Now, there are many different ways to get the secret societies, and each one is triggered via different means. In the case of the secret society we're looking for, it's triggered by finding a goodie hut. And bingo, we've just found it. Lovely. So the secret society we're aiming to go with is the voidsingers. The voidsingers come with a fair few bonuses. Their first bonus isn't anything too crazy. Allows you to build an old god obelisk, which is, you know, pretty okay, gives you a bit of culture and some faith. But their next bonus is a bit more exciting. Cities earn gold, science and culture equal to 20% of their faith output per turn. This is a pretty crazy bonus, especially if you were to play Ethiopia and combine it with their existing bonus of receiving 15% of their faith as science and culture anyway, which basically means Ethiopia can get 35% of their faith output as science and culture, which makes them, not fair to play. Oh, we found Mount Vesuvius, lovely. That's immediately going to increase our research of astrology and also allow us to have 2 additional governor titles to spend. This is going to allow me to kind of cheat the early game a little bit by assigning Pingala very early on and immediately giving Pingala a bonus to increase our science output. Fantastic. Early game science is always very good. Now with our first scout built, we could start production on a builder or an old god obelisk, but in our case we're going to actually go for the old god obelisk. A simplistic reason being that it provides faith, and faith is what we're going to need in order to get our first pantheon up and running and then eventually our first religion. And there we go, we've researched astrology so we can get building our first holy site. Oh no, there's bloody Ethiopia in this map. Oh no. Ethiopia is a bit of a powerful sausage. I'm not too sure whereabouts they are. I'm pretty sure they're over here somewhere, but oh goodness, that is not a good sign. But I suppose if we can stop them nice and early on, it should all be okay. Anyway, we need to found our first pantheon. And already there's actually a nice little synergy we can go for here. We go for desert folklore, holy sites gain +1 faith from each adjacent desert tile, then we actually might be able to set up a nice ring of cities around here and get some brilliant adjacency on our holy sites. I can't see why not. This seems like a great use of our investments. And now we're up to +10 faith per turn. What a brilliant start. Now I've got my first settler out and about on the board, and what I'm going to be deliberately doing is moving him as close as I can to the Mapuche capital over here, which is Ngulamapu. It's a nice city, but at the start of the game it's not going to be much, but equally a low population city at the start of the game is easy to try and convert. So what we're going to do is try and get as close as we can and then flip it to our side. This process is going to take a very long time, but in the late game we're going to be able to speed it up. And also we can recruit our first great prophet and found the world's first ever religion. Now the thing is, our religion is going to help us generate faith, and we're going to use that faith to basically convince cities to join us. So that means we need a religion which a lot of people can get behind, something that's easy to convert people onto. It doesn't actually have to be a religion of substance. In fact, there doesn't actually need to be almost any content to the religion. It just needs to be able to be on the front page of something and people be like, wow, I like the look of that. Which is why I'm going to be starting the religion of Minecraft clone. It's everything you know and love about Minecraft, except it's cloned. It's technically garbage, but I don't particularly care. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the work ethic in our religion, because this means our holy sites adjacency will also give us production, which is a great bonus to have. And then also as another lovely bonus, we're going to pick up missionaries and apostles are 30% cheaper to purchase. This is quite a useful bonus because it allows us to immediately crush any early game religions and force them to be our own. Now what we can do is we can effectively cheese this by running a couple of missionaries south into the Ethiopian Empire and killing them before they can even get a religion up and running. If we manage to get this done fast enough, then technically we've kind of slowed Ethiopia's game down by a very, very long way. There we go, I think I found Ethiopia. They're over here to our left. Perfect. Operation Convert Their Cities is a go. Oh my goodness, the capital Addis Ababa of the Ethiopian Empire is under siege by barbarians. Oh, poor Ethiopia. Well, luckily we're going to be able to basically take control of this situation and just convert it using our missionaries who are nearby. And at the same time, we're going to be settling a city right about here. And this city is in range to start conversions over their second city of Desi, and also close enough, I think, to Addis Ababa to start adding a bit of a sway. Oh, and there we go. We managed to convert the Ethiopian capital to following Minecraft clones. Yes, you love the look of Fall Guys, don't you? It's original, it's fresh, it's like Roblox, but different. Yes, buy it. And there we go. We move into the next era, and we get to pick up ourselves the greatest golden era bonus of all. Oh, and what's that? Ethiopia didn't make it into the golden era. Oh, well, what a shame for you. Oh my goodness, and our friend to the north is in a dark age. Okay, this is brilliant. I will explain all of this in a little bit, but this is a brilliant start for us. Right, we're going to pick up monumentality, which means we can buy civilian units with faith. And then to our north, the Mapuche Empire is in a dark age. So what that means is their cities are basically twice as easy to convert to being your own, which, as you can guess, is a really nice bonus to have, because it means you can just convert all of their cities. Of course, we need to actually get some great works up and running before then, but as soon as we do, we're off to a flying start. Right, now let's slap down our first city over here. We'll also pick up theology so that we can get our temples up and running. And then finally, our scout missionary over here is just seeing if the Ethiopian Empire has expanded. But I realize, of course, yes, now we have all of the faith that I need in order to buy an early game trader as well as an early game builder. And then up here in Leeds, I can buy another builder as well. And oh my goodness, our cities are going to get beautiful very quickly. Right now, for our exploit to really work, we're going to want to get the Oracle up and running, because the Oracle allows you to generate more great people points, and we want to be pumping pumping out great writers and great artists like no tomorrow. Oh man, we get the first great scientist of the entire game. This is lovely. This little great scientist instantly builds a library and also makes it so that our libraries produce 1 extra science in all of our cities. So a lovely little great scientist to pick up nice and early on. Again, we're going to found our 4th city right here, in the range of the lovely arches, gives us some era score, but most importantly, should give us one hell of a crazy holy site. Look at this, +8 holy site, and also because of our lovely Pantheon, that holy site is also going to provide 8 production. Oh, now that is just one lovely little spot. Certainly early game, a little bit unbalanced. Right, and then the next person who we're going to pick up is Armani the Diplomat. Armani the Diplomat is a pretty unique governor because one of their earliest bonuses is that other cities in a 9-tile radius lose 2 loyalty per turn. So we can pick her up and slap her down in literally anywhere. Because I'd like to try and take away the Mapuche capital, we're going to place her down in Leeds. Once she's set up, she's going to start creating a few loyalty issues for the Mapuche Empire. Now we're going to build ourselves the Great Library because it's actually a very useful wonder even for this kind of game because it gives us 2 great work slots. Right, and now we've settled our brand new city of Hull, which is just south of the brand new Ethiopian city of Sodo. Should be quite nice and easy to actually try and flip. And then we're also going to settle another city here within a few towers range of Rankle over there, and that pretty cheeky forward settle should hopefully slow down the AI's expansion. Alright, and there we go, we've managed to build our lovely holy site in Bristol, which has added a metric ton of production, as you can imagine, or at least it will do as soon as we get it religiously converted. Right, and we are now also generating the world's first and only great writers, artists and musicians, meaning we'll be able to snag all of those early ones nice and quickly, and as soon as we get that sorted, the great conversion of these cities is going to start happening. Oh, there we go, we got the great library built as well. That's incredible, good stuff for us. And then we're also going to want to immediately drop down a conversion of Bristol. This is going to add 8 production to our holy site there, because who doesn't love an 8 production holy site? That seems fair. Oh yes, I do love gaming the religion system. And of course we get yet another great scientist. This is Hildegard of Bingen, my favorite great scientist, because she's going to add 8 science per turn to our lovely holy site here. Oh, and now because we've progressed into the next era, I can spend our governor title on ritual, meaning faith production in cities gets converted into science and culture. This will be very nice because it's going to boost our science per turn from 50 and 44 to, let's see, 58 and 52. Very nice. That's what you love to see. And we're now going to get to evangelize our belief, basically adding an additional effect onto it. I'm going to try and really increase our faith production, so I'm going to pick up pilgrimage, which means +2 faith for each city following this religion, which brings our faith generation up to 73 per turn. A nice improvement. Right, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. It's now turn 131. We're in yet another golden age in the medieval era, pumping out lots of nice cities and so on. In terms of science and culture, we have more than double of our next competitor. Our faith output's quite nice as well, and things are generally looking quite good. In terms of loyalty, we haven't seen too many changes yet, but don't worry, that's all going to be changing very soon. You see, in the industrial era, we gain the ability to buy cultist units, which will create relics from the void, which we can use to flip loyalty, but also the cultist units which we buy with faith have charges which reduce loyalty in foreign cities, which as you can guess is quite powerful. So all we need to do is force our way into the industrial era, and then hopefully we'll be able to spam out these units as fast as possible. Now you might be wondering why on earth I'm deciding to do this challenge. I mean, is it particularly necessary to show off my skills in Civ 6 by trying to get a conquest victory without even fighting? I mean, it's just an absolute meme at the end of the day, and it's what I enjoy. I do love joke challenges. Alright, and there we go, we're going to flip over the capital of Addis Ababa over to following our religion. It's probably going to piss off Ethiopia, but it doesn't matter. There we go, we're bammed. +4 era score, and it's now under our control. Sorry Ethiopia, that's really not going to make you happy. Oh, and here's our first ever great artist as well, who we get to plonk down. Now we can kind of just expend all of this in our capital and create a whole bunch of religious great works, and this will help us to start flip Sodo onto our side. Ah yes, your loyalty isn't so strong anymore, Mr. Ethiopia. And yes, in 6 turns Sodo will flip to becoming our very own city, which, you know, quite good fun. That's our first conquest without any complicated things such as war, but we're going to be able to actually start speeding up the process very soon. The way we're going to be doing that is via the hiring of spies, because we can use spies to reduce loyalty. Alright, and now we can send our lovely spy out from our capital city over to, I'm pretty sure the city of Desi would be a good choice, because we can start having them foment unrest, which lowers loyalty by 20. And yes, the medieval era ends in 1 turn, which is perfect for us, because the end of the medieval era signifies the start of the Renaissance era, and that should get us 1 step closer to being in the industrial era and buying my lovely cheesy broken units. Anyway, into the Renaissance era we go. Oh, and there we go, Sodo has become our very own city. Lovely. What's this World Congress? Oh, duplicate amenities, I'd like that. Duplicate citrus amenities, please, and oh, Let's make it so that faith purchases are cheaper by 50%. That's going to be a great choice, because faith purchases means that we can effectively buy ourselves an army. Oh my goodness, it actually passed. Oh, and we get hero score for stealing a city, do we? Oh, that's brilliant. Well, welcome the citizens of Sodo into our lovely empire. But anyway, apparently it's become cheaper to buy things with faith, which means, yep, I can buy musketmen for 200 faith. Lovely. That's what you like to see. So we can just move that swordsman out, and now I can buy a couple of musketmen, and that's the first ever musketman in the world. Well, that's going to really advance our lovely empire. And now what about you, Desi? How close are you to flipping? 12 points per turn. That's how much resistance you have. Right, it is now turn 191. In terms of research, we are still ahead by over double of everyone else, and our culture is insane. In fact, everything about our empire is just completely and utterly broken. We can buy an army, we have a whole bunch of faith saved up for one very special occasion, and that is when the Renaissance era ends and we see the dawn of the next era. That era is, of course, the Industrial Era, because the Industrial Era allows us to buy all of our soothsayer units and cultists, which will generate stupid amounts of relics and also convert cities into being our own without actually having to declare war. And then as soon as we take those cities then get flooded with all of the relics we've generated in taking it, and that will increase our faith output. It will increase also our loyalty pressure, meaning that we just become effectively the grey goo, slowly encompassing all of the neighbouring cities and converting them to our own. Now, even though we're just around the midpoint of the game, we're actually starting to convert Rankul Mapu into being our own, which will take 32 turns, although we'll speed it up a bit with this lovely little archaeologist. And then also Ethiopia down here decided to settle another city after we took Sodo from them. This city, however, little bit too close to our borders, because in 23 turns it's going to become our own, although it's actually going to be a bit quicker because I'm moving in Armani to take control of the situation. Right, and I'm going to get another spy over here, and I'm going to move this spy over to Rankul Mapu. I really feel like every time I say this I'm talking about poo, but hopefully it doesn't come across as that in the edit. Anyway, we're going to start excavating more artifacts over here, and remember, every time we excavate an artifact it's just going to move into Newcastle upon Tyne and increase the speed at which this city is going to flip to rebellion. Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, I've just received an excellent offer from Eleanor of Aquitaine. She says the first 6,000 people to like this video will be bestowed English citizenship. Isn't that lovely? You get your full English citizenship. And I mean, trust me, you want to claim your English citizenship before you get mandatorily made an English citizen when the inevitable swarm of cultists arrive. So make sure to sign up today. Right, we're now just 50 turns away from being halfway through the game, and things are actually in full swing. Rankul Mapu is one turn away from actually just becoming ours, which is brilliant. The city down to our south, Libella, is going to become ours in 6 turns, all thanks to this lovely little archaeologist who's running around. And then after that we'll have a full reach into the heartlands of the Ethiopian Empire. As you can see, they're starting to also lose control of Desi here, which means every time this lovely agent foments unrest, we get one step closer to actually flipping this city to be our own. And there we go, Rankul Mapu is ours. Oh, we also have an agent which we need to send to a city. I guess we send you to their capital, which is going to rebel in 1,600 turns. Okay, let's go to their capital, and we're going to start fomenting unrest. If we can seize the capital of the Mapuche Empire without even going to war, now that's going to be really something. Anyway, let's keep this city. Well, bam, perfect. That's an extra 2 era score, and an entire city is ours. And of course it joins with immediate full loyalty. Now what we want to do, slap bang down a theatre square and get our culture train going. Anyway, how's Libella doing? Oh, Libella's going to be ours next turn. Fantastic. Oh, what a brilliant adventure this is. We've hit the point where our tech kind of outweighs everything else in the game, so I'm just going to smash the end of the tech tree button and we'll get there eventually. Oh, and we can recruit yet another great artist. Brilliant. Oh, and there we go. We've captured Libella as well. This is yet another city which we're going to keep. Fantastic. And by actually taking this city, we increase a pressure, which means that Desi is more likely to flip to our side. So every time our spies start doing cheeky activities over here, we're going to start seizing control. Oh, and of course, once again, we're going to slap down yet another theatre square and fill that with great works. Now, from looking at Desi, we're not actually too far away from converting the city. It's just going to take a little bit of additional work, and then we should be able to flip it. But the best thing about doing all of these conversions is the AI isn't actually particularly annoyed at us. If we go over to Menelik's opinions of us, he doesn't actually particularly hate us. If anything, he's maintained neutrality because he's pleased that I've left all of the hills to him. Although I haven't exactly, because I mean I've just stolen all of his cities. I guess each to their their own, Menelik. And also I'm going to use faith to purchase an old god obelisk for just 100 faith in the center of Rancor Mapu. What that's going to allow me to do is move in these great artists and immediately get ourselves some great works up and running. And I can even do the same down here in Libella. And so in Rancor Mapu, we're going to slam down, oh, look at that, the Sistine Chapel ceiling just in this random city. And that gets us very close to stealing the capital of another player without even having to have a fight over it. Now this is how I like to do all of my wars. I wouldn't even say we're doing wars diplomatically. It's rather more that we're just stealing things in a way which the AI can't actually react to. And now that we have one of my spies over here in the capital of Rancor Mapu, I'm going to actually have him start lowering the loyalty even further so we can force the capital to rebel even quicker. Although actually I realise it's probably going to rebel before our spy operation even finishes. We're 20 turns away from stealing an enemy capital city. This is absolutely dumb. This makes no sense. Oh, what's this? Capital captured? Did I just see that I've captured a capital? The capital of Auckland has been captured by England. What? The capital of Auckland? Auckland's not a capital. That's just a city-state. Right, well, I'll keep the city. That's mine. +2 era score. Lovely. I'll be stealing that bad boy. And that will hopefully apply even more pressure into the Ethiopian Empire, especially considering I can just slap down a theatre square here and we'll start our waltzing into their territory. The city of Desi is going to flip in about 5 turns. Oh, but of course, now we're in the next era. We can pick up indoctrination, which means using faith, we can buy cultist units. Now, can we do this in Rancor Mapuche? Yes, for 130, we can buy a cultist. Once it dies or loses all of its charges, it awards the player a relic of the void, which will of course lower loyalty for everyone else. And every time it uses its ability, nearby cities lose 10 loyalty. So what we do, we buy a cultist there and a cultist there. We can buy a couple of cultists over here. And we're going to start seeing the fall of Ethiopia, as well as the Mapuche Empire. Now, how many charges do they have? Oh, they have 3 charges each. That's 30 loyalty they can lower. Perfect. They don't even need open borders. They can just walk straight on in. As Mapuche's in the Golden Age, that's going to be a real pain to try and steal cities from. So instead, I'm going to take all of my cultists and go left. We're going to steal the city-state of Targua and then start stealing all of Theonosha's cities while she's in the Dark Age. At the same time, we're going to finish off Ethiopia. Anyway, now we can start flipping Taruga here. As you can see, rebellion in 54 turns, but if we hit recruit followers, it's now 48 turns because we've just lowered the loyalty by 10. Now, the reason why this is so concerningly overpowered is the fact that you can literally just waltz into a city, press a button, and then just flip it to your side without even having to go to war. It's not even generating grievances against Ethiopia because they just see it as a natural process and effectively proof that my civilization was greater than theirs. So our cultists go up to Dese, rebellion in 8 turns. That's how easy it is. And remember, because we're playing Eleanor, each rebellion we get means the next rebellion is even easier to pull off. This unit just isn't balanced. It's completely and utterly broken. Oh, what's that? A Dream Eater relic? Nice. So this city will flip even faster, but let's hit recruit followers, -10 loyalty, 1 turn away. Right, hit the button. Recruit followers. 1 turn rebellion, we've done it. All of your cities belong to me, my friend. The synergy of this is just absolutely stupid because you can gain relics at a terrifying speed and then you can use those same relics for incredible bonuses. It just makes no sense. Anyway, we're going to be stealing basically all of Ethiopia's cities here. My aim is to knock Ethiopia out first, and actually in order to do so we could probably do with a few more cultists, so I'll pick up a couple more. Now if we take a look at which city we're going to try and flip next, it actually makes sense for us to try and take the Ethiopian capital because the Ethiopian capital is the weakest loyalty in comparison to all of our neighbouring cities, which means we can take it. Oh, and there we go, I also captured the city of Vilnius. Lovely. Let's keep that city. Fantastic. No fighting necessary. And it comes pre-equipped with a theatre district. Lovely. That's actually going to mean we flip Targua even quicker, and then once we flip Targua, that means we can flip Surbiton even faster as well. We're really off to a flying start with all of this. And I'm going to have my spies start fomenting loyalty issues in the capital Addis Ababa. And that means we should be getting close to flipping these cities. Oh, and there we go. Targua is ours, so we'll capture that. Yet another city to our fine collection, and we'll immediately have them build a theatre square so that we can just flood it with some great works. Now, technically speaking, the loyalty of Ethiopia grows by 5.2 per turn, but considering we can do more damage than they can actually out-heal us, we will be able to take their capital no problem. It is technically a bit wasteful in terms of faith, but you know what, you only live once, so let's give this a go. Ooh, let's say faith is also cheaper to purchase military units with, and just crank all of our votes into that, and perfect, job done. Hopefully that passes. And it did. Now, has that made cultist units cheaper to purchase? It has. Oh my god, cultist units are only 160 faith. This is not fair. This is unfair. We could just spam them out. 160 faith, that's 2 cultist units per turn in faith generation. So that's 60 60 loyalty, which means per turn we can generate enough negative loyalty to flip an entire city. Right, let's start it. Addis Ababa, I'm afraid you're going to be ours. And every time we do this, we get a relic. And so it begins. Ethiopia's great flip. We're almost halfway there, and we haven't even really begun. Oh my goodness, we haven't even technically reached inside of the Phoenician Empire just yet, although we're already starting to accidentally convert a couple of their cities. So, including we're actually converting Pewen Mapu over here from the Mapuche Empire. And if we can get out from the Mapuche Empire nice and quickly, well, I'm going to sink all of the points I can into it. Right, we're going to send over the next wave of cultists into the enemy empire. Lovely. Let's just quickly rotate them round and we can do their recruit followers. Lovely. We can move around one space. Come on, there's space for everyone in here. All right, the great exodus of cultists begins. What a mess this is. Oh, you love to see it. Right, let's start stealing away the Phoenician cities as well as Pewen Mapu. We can grab that in the next few turns. That's going to be brilliant. Now, if I take a look at the loyalty of Addis Ababa, it is exceedingly low. Almost got them right down to 0, which would cause a flip and would throw them under our control. Meanwhile, over here, I'm going to quickly speed up the process of taking Suburtan, and same with Pewen over here. So there we go. Let's hit recruit followers. That's going to speed up the process by a few turns. Lovely stuff. This is going to be an absolute mess. Oh, and there we go. We've accidentally taken the city of Addis Ababa. I wasn't actually aware we were going to take it, but I guess the foment unrest came through, and we've seized the Ethiopian capital, which is pretty funny. Oh god, this is going to be a mess. This is a real mess, because now all of the Ethiopian cities are going to go into open rebellion in the next few turns. Adao is going to be ours in 8 turns, Adigat in 4 turns. Oh, this is perfect. Let's really seal control of these with our lovely cultists. There we go. You know what to do. Get converting, get stealing cities. And what do we do with their capital? Well, we'll have them build an amphitheater for us, and we get to recruit a great musician. Lovely. Great musician. What can I have you do? I can have you go all the way over to Vilnius here. Oh no, and the game's crashed. God damn it, Civ 6. Every goddamn time. There's something about this strategy which Civ 6 is not happy with. Very unhappy about. I wonder why. Right, we're now halfway through the game, and we've managed to steal Berlin away from the enemy. It's just become our latest addition to our collection. So thank you very much, AI, for handing over Berlin. Ah, there we go. We've actually just found the enemy capital city of Aachen. Lovely. All we need to do once again, surround this bad boy with cultists, and it will be ours. Now, we will run into a slight issue over here in Tier, which is quite simple. Playing against the Phoenician Empire is actually a bit of a pain, because they will always have full loyalty for any cities starting which share the same continent as their capital, which basically means this is nigh impossible to take. However, technically, my hope is that if we can reduce it to 0 in 1 turn, we will be able to take this city. Now, we're not actually going to be able to do that until we reach the final era, where we can actually improve our cultists and have them do more loyalty damage. So until then, we can't steal this city unless we went to war. As you know, we're definitely never going to go to war. Now, in terms of everything in this game, our statistics are just completely out of whack. Our culture generation per turn, 689. Science per turn, 600. 1000 faith per turn, and look at all of these resources we have. And because we've crippled all of the other civilizations, they're never going to be able to come back from this. Now, Cologne will flip to us in 14 turns, but Texcoco over here will flip to us in 1, which will be very lovely. And as soon as that's in reach, then we'll be in striking distance of the Aztec capital. Oh, and there we go. The capital of Germany has been captured by England there. Aachen is now ours, and of course it immediately joined us at full loyalty. And we've also thrown ourselves into the information era. Lovely stuff. But yes, that is the German capital. So in terms of a domination victory, we only need to capture 2 more capitals, and then we've managed to knock out every other AI in the game. But of course, we're going to actually have to wait till we get to the modern era before we can actually probably try and steal away Phoenicia. But anyway, Texcoco is also ours. That means our threat to the Aztec capital is now greater than ever before. Let's surround that bad boy and get him converted. Now Cologne will be ours next turn as well. Right, our many cultist forces are beginning their approach of Tenochtitlan. Look, okay, I'm English. I'm not very good with these pronunciations. But as soon as we have it surrounded, it will basically be the second to last capital secured and under our belt. Oh my god, and what's this? Victory? Oh, for goodness sake, I didn't want a goddamn culture victory. Just one more turn. Okay, right, ignore that. Nothing happened there. We didn't win the game. Right, now Hamburg is going to be ours in 2 turns, and Augsburg will be ours in 4 turns, and then probably Germany will accidentally alt F4 itself out of existence. And of course, we're 6 turns away from Mapuche no longer existing. Right, the snowball effect has really hit full force, ladies and gentlemen. We are starting to flip cities almost one after another. Adigrat over here is about to flip to us next turn, then Adowa over here flips in 3 turns, Axum flips in 11, the capital of the Mapuche Empire is flipping in 3, Ziz over here is flipping in 2, and then as soon as we pick up Ziz and the capital of the Mapuche Empire, we'll take Inner Pre-Mapu, and then after that we'll try and flip the capital of Phoenicia. And then by that point, hopefully in about 20 or so turns time, we'll have been able to capture 3 enemy capitals without even going to war. Because who needs war to win a domination victory, ladies and gentlemen? You just don't need it. You can do it with a whole bunch of cultists. Anyway, we've captured the city of Adigrat. Can we buy cultists here? Yes, cultists here cost 260. Why are they so cheap in Addis Ababa? What is in this city which makes it so cheap to buy cultists? And of course the capital of the Mapuche. Let's flip that next turn. Perfect, that's going to be ours. And we've also picked up an additional relic for it. We're getting a great work put in this city of Suburton here, and Ziz will flip to us next turn. Perfect. And as soon as it does, we're going to have a great artist immediately move into Ziz, and then in the old god obelisk in there, we're going to have it immediately has that great piece of work and lower the loyalty of neighboring cities. Oh yes, the cycle is just continuing. And there we go. There's the capital of the Mapuche Empire added into our collection. This is completely and utterly dumb, but there we go. The city is ours. Fantastic. And now that it's ours, we're going to start flipping all of the neighboring cities as well. So Willy Mapu over here will become ours. Willy Mapu is not a good name for a city, by the way, Mr. Mapuche, please. Oh, and of course also the city of Ziz is now ours. That's another 12 pop city. I mean, our science at the moment is just going to insane levels, and the same is said for our culture. We're probably actually going to win a culture victory in, yes, 22 turns technically, so we'll have to continue on playing past that because there's just no way to avoid the culture victory at this point. But yes, Ethiopia is about to effectively be snuffed out of the game without any war taking place. They haven't fought a single battle this entire game, and yet their entire empire is just going to kind of fall over. And there we go, Adowa is now also flipped to becoming ours, so Ethiopia just has 1 city left now, and in 4 turns it's going to become our very own city. And you know what, we're going to actually make that a little bit quicker. Oh, and of course we're going to have to start converting Germany now because they're just across the wall from Axum. Don't worry, my German friends, death will come nice and quickly, but we can buy cultists for only 90 faith in the bloody capital of Ethiopia. This makes no sense. It is not fair. Mr. Sidwires, please, I think you need to pop this DLC back in the oven for just a few extra minutes of just quality control test. Just a little bit of that, and it should all be good to go. Now, for most of my other cities, I now basically can't use them. London, Newcastle upon Tyne, they're all basically redundant. So all they're going to be doing is trying to generate as much faith per turn as possible, because we're generating 600 faith per turn, which means we would normally be able to buy about 3 cultists per turn, although for some reason, thanks to Addis Ababa, that actually means we can buy 6 per turn. And there we go, Axum has become our own, and Ethiopia has faded out of existence. Goodbye, Ethiopia. There you go, Ethiopia will not stand the test of time simply because their city has decided to say goodbye and has become our very own. Well, thank you very much. We'll keep your city of Axum there, and I guess now we just simply hop around the wall and start trying to steal a couple of city-states out from underneath Germany. Oh, now there's good news about the city of Axum over here, though. It's got space for a whole bunch of great works, and it's in range of lots of German cities. So now we begin the Great Work Relocation Program. London does not need all of these great works. Axum, however, can have all of them. So there we go. We just simply drop a whole bunch off in Axum, move some writing over as well. London doesn't need all of these books. So yes, effectively you just want to basically move works along from your early cities, move them further and further out to your older cities. And this means that Axum will become effectively a massive powerhouse in terms of loyalty damage. And of course we need to reassign our governor over to Axum. Although actually, maybe we should knock Phoenicia out the game. Yep, we should probably do that. Alright, over to Puen Mapu with you. Now the thing is, Phoenicia is technically also part of the cultist faction. The only downside is they've kind of waited too late, and they also don't have our brilliant bonuses when it comes to stealing cities, meaning that there's nothing they can do to stop us. And now the city of Inner Mapu over here is going to eventually flip to us, and as soon as it does, we're going to be able to take all of the neighboring cities because that's such a huge, dense population. So we're going to mass spam out a whole bunch of cultists, and we should be able to take that city in no time. Alright, now for the great memeing to begin. We're going to entirely surround the city of Ulm with cultists and begin effectively the mass conversion. Alright, we have surrounded Ulm with cultists, and so the chanting shall commence. The aim is to flip this entire city. Now Ulm does have an incredible loyalty growth, about 15 points per turn, but all that means is if we expend effectively 1,000,000 in cultists, we should be able to flip them. Right, and so the great chanting of Om shall commence. I have no idea if it's actually possible to steal cities this way, but we're going to give it a try. Right, Om, recruit followers, -10 loyalty. Recruit followers. And again, and again. Right, and by doing that, Om is now at less than half loyalty, which means next turn we might be able to reduce it down to 0. Right, we're going to continue our chanting. Om is at over just half its loyalty, so let's chant once more. There we go. Relic, more chanting, more chanting, more chanting. And now Orm is technically 0 loyalty. Now I'm not sure if it's going to flip to us. This is the thing. There's a chance it might just stay inside of Germany. But then again, I don't know. If this game is as broken as I believe it to be, then it is probably going to let me suddenly take control of that city. Part of me hopes it doesn't, because that would make this even more overpowered than it makes any rational sense for it to be. Oh my god, it happened. We actually took Orm. We took Orm despite not even having enough loyalty technically. Oh my god, that is not fair. It's just ours. Right, keep the city. Keep the city. Where are we going next? I guess we take Berlin. Whereabouts is their capital? Somewhere over here, I guess. So we'll need to steal Berlin for that first. So let's start surrounding it with even more cultists. But now that we have Ulm up and running, pressure we're applying to Berlin will be even greater. And we can send fresh cultist reinforcements from Addis Ababa. Alright, we have Ulm under our control, which now means we'll start spamming out these old god obelisks and filling them up with great works. Now technically on paper Berlin has full loyalty, and its loyalty is going to be huge. Yep, loyalty raises 26 points per turn, meaning we're going to need to expend 3 cultists per turn just to effectively keep up with this city. But the good news is we're going to be able to bring in more cultists than this city can actually burn its way through. And as soon as we take Berlin, once again, pressure from this city will just start overtaking everything else. Alright, let the chanting around Berlin begin. Alright, and there we go. We've also captured Inaparimapu. That's going to be our next city added to our fine collection, and that's 19 pops, which are going to be exerting pressure around all of the neighboring cities as well. Oh, now this is really where the snowball has exceeded any expectations, because the entirety of the Mapuche Empire will now become ours in just a matter of time. Right, we've done it. We've managed to lower the loyalty of the Aztec capital to be less than 0, meaning it's going to immediately flip to being ours next turn. The biggest issue we're going to run into is, of course, Tier, because if literally any other civilization was in the game, we'd have this in the bag. We'd just be able to surround their capital and take it in one turn. But because they are Fiannocia and technically their capital can't lose loyalty, though technically it can, it just has to wait till the end of the turn to refresh, I'm not going to be able to take this city unless I can lower it to below 100 in a single turn. And for me to actually do that, I'm going to basically have to wait 59 turns until I can actually steal this entire city in one go, which is a bit of a shame, but it's fully understandable. Anyway, there we go. The capital of the Aztecs is now ours, meaning if we were to take a look at the lovely domination victory, we are one city away from winning. Oh, and there we go. The Mapuche are gone. Rest in peace, Mapuche. The last city accidentally falling to us, meaning they no longer exist. Lovely. Ah, and there we go. The modern era begins in 1802 AD. Lovely. Now, in terms of every single form of victory, we are just massively in the lead. So we don't actually really have to worry about the AIs doing anything. We can kind of just sit back and relax and slowly wait for our loyalty to take effect. Oh, and yep, we've entered the future era. It's 1814, but yes, future era time. I don't think I've ever managed to produce this amount of culture per turn, but yeah, we're up to 1,800 culture per turn, and we're technically just over halfway through the game. This is a stupid quantity of culture per turn, but you know, this is just all part of the Spiffing Brit 1000 IQ strategy. Now we are just simply waiting for the modern era to end and for the atomic era to begin. This is going to take a very long while, ladies and gentlemen, and a whole metric ton of me hitting shift enter. You know what? I'm just gonna spam it now. Nope, I'm just gonna shift enter all of this. I'm not doing anything else. Just shift enter. Alright, brilliant news, ladies and gentlemen. Turn 332, and we finally made it into the atomic era, which means I can make my dedication. It doesn't particularly matter what I do. I guess we'll go for the bodyguard of lies. Doesn't particularly make a difference. But now that we're in this era, we can finally promote to the final master plan, which unlocks the dark summoning project in all of our cities. So we get to go to all of our cities and start doing the dark summoning project. That means after a few turns, hopefully, we'll start seeing all of our glorious cultists start doing more loyalty damage. This is going to take a lot, but luckily we have a whole bunch of cities, which means it shouldn't be too bad. Now we're 7 turns away from our first dark summoning ritual actually taking place, but once we get all of these dark summonings up and running, theoretically all we have to do is have 5 dark summoning rituals happen, and after we have 5, it should be enough to do a total of 100 loyalty damage to Tier in 1 turn. But of course I want a few extra ones done just in case. Alright, the dark summoning rituals are almost all complete. I'm pretty sure we're nearing the maximum level of dark summoning rituals we can pull off, which will basically mean that all of our lovely cultists have maximum conversion abilities. Now in order to double check just how strong our cultists are, I'm going to buy a cultist over here and try it out on an Aztec city just for fun. Now the thing is we have 77,000 faith, so if we wanted we could buy, 77 more cultists and blanket the entire map and convert everything, but we have no need for that. We only want the 1 remaining capital. Right, come on cultist, advance. I want to see just how powerful you are. Right, here we go. Recruit followers. Minus 30 loyalty. Okay, right. So our cultists are already at max strength. What this means is we are ready to try and do Operation Take Tier. And if this doesn't work, it means that technically this entire strategy became impossible as soon as the Phoenician Empire entered the game. The only way for us to actually win from this point on would be to have someone else take the Phoenician capital and then we steal it off of them using our magical culture abilities. But here we go. We're going to try and recruit followers nonetheless. So minus 30 loyalty does lower the loyalty of Tier. However, the loyalty will change back up to maximum very shortly. Unless, of course, we spam out all of my recruit followers and hopefully loyalty is beneath 0. So logically, come on game, let me have this. Loyalty at this point will be around about minus 270. And I mean, look, there is no way any civilization is able to survive that. This city should be ours. Let me end my turn. And yes, we did it. It actually worked. It doesn't even matter that technically they're meant to have full resistance to loyalty. Oh my god, you're still able to convert it. Oh my, yes, we have done it. We have done it, ladies and gentlemen. Keep city, keep city. There we have it. Domination, victory, success. All 5 enemy capital cities captured and under our control. What a glorious game this has been. It's been absolutely broken. It's been absolutely derpy, but we've managed to pull off a domination victory without firing a single shot, having a single war, or needing to attack a single person. The ultimate pacifist game of Civilization 6. We didn't just sit in the corner and turtle all game. No, we actually went out into the world and conquered, but we didn't conquer using conquering troops. Nope, just friendly, good old cultists trying to convince people to buy Minecraft clones. It always works. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. If you have indeed enjoyed this very strange game of Civilization 6, then by all means give this video a like and also hop down to the comment section. Strongly recommend you invite your friends to a game of Civ 6 with this new DLC, and make sure to pick Eleanor of Aquitaine and do the strategy against them. And then once they start pulling out their hair, forward them this video and they'll hopefully understand what's going on. Anyway, I'd be interested to see what video you want to see next, because I have a whole bunch of different complicated strategies for many different games which are completely and utterly broken. Do you want to A, see an incredible Bannerlords exploit? B, would you like to see an exploit for one of the most original RTS games, Total Annihilation? Or C, do you want me to demonstrate just how broken smithing is in Skyrim? The choice is up to you, ladies and gentlemen. So hop down to the comment section and vote. Anyway, as always, a massive thank you to each and every one of my majestic patrons who make these fantastic videos all the more possible. So seriously, thank you, my majestic sausages. You really do keep the funding going, especially when ads are a little bit up and down at the moment. So thank you very much. And hey, if you sat there wondering what video you'd like to watch next, well, I've got an entire channel dedicated to videos like this. If you like seeing people play games in a very strange way, which the developers probably didn't want players to do, then, well, this is the channel for you. I've got 2 lovely recommendations on screen, which will be exactly what you're looking for. Anyway, that's all from me for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have an absolutely lovely day, and goodbye for now.